గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. హౌ ఆర్ యూ? మీకోసం ఈరోజు మనకు ఒక డైనమిక్ గెస్ట్ ఎందుకన్నానంటే, సార్ లాగా ఉండాలని నా కోరిక, కానీ ఆయన ఉండలేకపోతున్నాను. సార్ అనే కంటే నాకు ఆయన నేను చెల్లెలు లాంటి దాన్ని, నాకు అన్న లాంటి వాళ్ళు అనమాట. ఎలానో మీకు చెప్తాను. నేను సివిల్స్ ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు అప్పటికే సార్కి అశోక్ నగర్లో ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఉంది. సార్ మా ఫ్రెండ్స్ అందరికీ టీచర్, నాకు కూడా ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ టీచర్. అటువంటి టీచర్ దగ్గర నేను కానీ చాలా మంది, సునీల్ నాయక్ గారు కానీ, గంజి దీప్తి నా ఫ్రెండ్, ఇండియన్ ఫారెన్ సర్వీస్, మేమందరం కూడా సార్ దగ్గర స్ఫూర్తి గైడెన్స్ అనమాట. సార్కి డైనమిజం చాలా ఎక్కువ అని చెప్పా కదా, సార్ అలాగా అక్కడ ఆగిపోలేదు. సార్ ముందుకెళ్ళారు, అదే పాలిటిక్స్లోకి. ఆ పాలిటిక్స్ కూడా అందరు పొలిటీషియన్స్ లా కాదు సార్. ఎక్కడ అన్యాయం ఉన్నా, ఎక్కడ అధర్మం ఉన్నా ఫస్ట్ వెళ్ళి క్వశ్చన్ చేస్తారు. అది మాత్రం అందరూ నేర్చుకోవాలి. సో ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్ సార్ గురించి మీకు తెలియాల్సింది ఏంటంటే, అమరావతి ఒక్కసారి క్యాపిటల్ కాదు అని చెప్పి ప్రజలు తెలిసాక, అక్కడ రైతులు ఎవరైతే పొలాలు ఇచ్చేసారో, గవర్నమెంట్ కోసం, రాజధాని కోసం త్యాగం చేశారో, వాళ్ళందరి తరఫున 5 సంవత్సరాల పాటు ప్రతిరోజు పోరాడారనమాట. సార్ తెలుసా తెలీదో, నేను సార్ని రోజు ఫాలో అయ్యేదాన్ని. పోరాటం డే 1 నుంచి ప్రతిరోజు వాళ్ళ ఫ్యామిలీ, వాళ్ళ పాప, మేడము, సార్ ముగ్గురు డే 1, డే 2, డే 3, డే 4 అని చెప్పి ఒక కార్డు ఉండే సార్ దగ్గర. ఎవ్రీడే నేను లెక్కేసేదాన్ని, ఇంకెన్నాళ్ళు పోరాడతారు సార్?
1632 days.
1632 days, 1632 రోజులు పోరాడారు. ఇప్పుడు అమరావతిలో ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా మీ నాయకుడు ఎవరు అంటే సార్ పేరు చెప్తారు, కెఎస్ రావు గారు ఉండబట్టి. అక్కడ సార్ తెలియదు చాలా మంది ఆడవాళ్ళతో. నేను అప్పుడప్పుడు వెళ్ళినప్పుడు సరదాగా అడుగుతాను, మీ శిబిరాలు ఏమైపోయినాయి, మీరు ఏమైపోయారు, మీరు అందరూ ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోయారంటే, కెఎస్ రావు గారి సపోర్ట్ మాకు చాలా స్ట్రాంగ్ గా ఉంది, ఒక ఉద్యమాన్ని ఎలా ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లాలనే దాని మీద. అంటే ఒక సివిల్స్ చదివిన టీచరు, సివిల్స్ చెప్పిన టీచరు, ఆయనకి ఇంకా ప్రాపర్గా తెలిసి ఉద్యమాన్ని ఎలా ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లాలో. అన్నిటికంటే సార్ నాకు నచ్చింది ఆ ఉద్యమమే. ఆ ఉద్యమం వల్లే ఈ రోజున మనం మళ్ళీ అమరావతిని చూడగలుగుతున్నాం. అమరావతి రైతులు ఈరోజు హ్యాపీగా ఉండగలుగుతున్నారంటే దాని వెనకాల సార్ ఉన్నారనమాట. సార్లో ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ నాకు చాలా ఇష్టం. పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ స్టూడెంట్స్ మీరు కూడా ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ వినే ఉంటారు. గ్రామ్స్కి ఆర్గానిక్ ఇంటెలెక్చువల్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్. ఆంటోనియో గ్రామ్స్కి ఒక థింకర్ ఉంటారనమాట. సమాజంలో మార్పు తెచ్చాలి, సమాజంలో ఒక చేంజ్ రావాలి అంటే పెద్ద వాటి వల్ల కాదు, ఆర్గానిక్ ఇంటెలెక్చువల్స్ అని. ఆర్గానిక్ ఇంటెలెక్చువల్స్ అంటే స్టూడెంట్స్ నుంచి రావచ్చు, రైటర్స్ లోంచి రావచ్చు, నార్మల్ కవుల్లోంచి రావచ్చు. ఉదాహరణకి మన ఫ్రెండ్ లో వందే మాతరం అనే సాంగ్ ఎలా కనెక్ట్ అయింది కామన్ మాసెస్ కి, రాఖీలు కట్టుకుంటూ ముస్లిం యూనిటీ ఎలా కనెక్ట్ అయింది. సో ఒక ఉద్యమం అనేది ఎంత కష్టమైనా, ఎంత కడగళ్ళు వచ్చినా, ఎంత కన్నీళ్ళు వచ్చినా తెలియదు సార్కి. ఏ పార్టీ గెలిచిందో తెలీదు, నిజంగా ఉద్యమం ఉంటుందో లేదో తెలీదు, ఆయన ఎన్నిసార్లు అరెస్ట్ చేస్తారో తెలీదు, అయినా పోరాటం సాగించిన వ్యక్తి అనమాట. అందుకే నాకు చాలా ఆదర్శం. ఓకే, సో సార్ మీ వల్ల అయితే నేను చాలా మారాను. మనిషి ప్రతి దానికి డిఫెన్సివ్గా ఉండకూడదు, మనం ఎంతో స్ట్రాంగ్ గా ఉండాలి. ముఖ్యంగా నాలాంటి ఆడవాళ్ళకి మీరు చాలా ఇన్స్పిరేషన్, మీలాంటి అన్నున్నారని చెప్పి ధైర్యం అనమాట. మీరు ఈరోజు మా కోసం ప్రత్యేకంగా, సార్ చాలా హాబీ సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్ వాళ్ళకి టీచ్ చేయడం. సార్ టీచ్ చేశారంటే ఇంక మీ బ్రెయిన్లో నేను టీచ్ చేసిన దానికంటే పాయింట్స్ బాగా గుర్తుంటాయి. సో నేను రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తాను, ఒక్కసారి మా ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్కి వచ్చి మీరు లెక్చర్ చెప్పాలి సార్ అంటే. సార్ ఈరోజు మనకు టైం ఇచ్చారు, నెల రోజు నుంచి నేను రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తే సార్ రావడం జరిగింది. ఐఎమ్ వెరీ థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. చిన్న మా పిల్లలందరి తరఫున జయప్రసాద్ గారు వచ్చి సార్కి ఒక చిన్న మొమెంట్ ఇచ్చాక క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాం. స్టార్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత సరే మీతో ఉంటారు, నేను బయటకు వెళ్తాను. ఒక్క 2 నిమిషాలు. Oh, no, no. Because it take a month.
Thank you.
నేను వెళ్ళేసి 12:30కి క్లాస్ ఎండ్ 12:30కి అవుతుంది, అప్పుడు నేను వస్తాను. సార్ ఎప్పుడు ఎండ్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు నేను లోపలికి వస్తాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ. అది ప్రాక్టికల్ అప్రోచ్ ఉంది సార్. మా వాళ్ళకి రైతుల సమస్యలతో సహా అంటే మీరు చూసి వచ్చారు కాబట్టి లైవ్ లో అన్ని విధాలు.
ఇది అవసరం లేదా? ఓకే ఓకే, పెట్టుకుంటా. ఈ జేబులో
కింద జోలు
బోర్డు లేదా? ఇదేనా బోర్డు? ఈ చైర్ తీసేసాయి. వైట్ పెట్టేసి వెళ్ళిపోయి. వైట్ పెట్టేసి వెళ్ళిపోయి. ఆన్ చేయండి, ఆన్ చేయండి.
ఆన్లైన్లో ఉంది, ఒకళ్ళు అరేంజ్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నా.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. Good morning to future leaders of this country. Political leaders are not real leaders, because those who study public administration or Indian administration can understand that political executive is temporary. What is the duration of a chief minister? Is there any guarantee? What is the duration of a prime minister? Is there any guarantee? Vajpayee had only 13 days as prime minister when he became prime minister in 1996. 13 days. After 13 days, he became former prime minister. Devagowda, roughly 1 year. 𝐾𝐸𝐽𝐺𝐷, roughly 1 year. In polity classes, we study that for every 5 years, there will be a government. But in 1996, 13 days Vajpayee was prime minister. After 13 days, Devagowda became prime minister. Again, in 97, Gujral became prime minister. 98, there were elections. Again, Vajpayee became prime minister. 13 months. In 1996, 13 days. In 1998, 13 months. After 13 months, again, there were elections. In 1999, again, Vajpayee became prime minister for the third time, 5 years. 1999-2004. Now tell me, political executive is permanent or temporary? Temporary. But an IAS officer, an IPS officer, a police constable, a sub-inspector, a VRO, a government employee. So that is why rulers of this country are bureaucrats. Politicians, they feel that they are rulers. They feel that they are rulers. But practically, this country is ruled by steel frame. What is that steel frame? What is called steel frame? Bureaucracy. So, don't try to write civil services. Try to become civil servant. There's a lot of difference. When you talk to so many people, they say, I want to see an attempt. I want to see 2 attempts. See that? We should go to Mussoorie. Yeah. Your own state, your own district. Come to the topic. So according to your information, what is the topic? And before going into our topic, today, 26th November, when Madam gave me, I was thinking about 1949 November 26th Constituent Assembly. On behalf of Constituent Assembly, actually, it was a Constituent Assembly which prepared the Constitution of India. It was Constituent Assembly which adopted Constitution of India. It was Constituent Assembly which received the Constitution of India on behalf of Constituent Assembly or people of exactly almost this size. Today you can see in so many newspapers. So how many years Indian Constitution is completing today? 75 years. Madam was telling that when she was introducing me, she was telling that I am dynamic. We must be dynamic. Are you the same person? What you were yesterday, or last year, or what you were in school days, or college days? One must be dynamic. Okay. 75th anniversary of Indian Constitution. Since India is a country of different faiths, we have Bhagavad Gita, we have Quran, we have Bible, and equally important, we have Constitution of India. Before going into class, I want to remind the words of Indira Gandhi about Indian Constitution. According to Indian tradition, a Hindu widow cannot enter into a temple. And normally a Hindu widow is not entertained even by relatives in family functions. A Hindu widow is officially or unofficially prohibited from social life, cultural life. So her life is restricted. But being a widow, she became Prime Minister of India. When Indira Gandhi was talking about the greatness of our constitution, she said that this is the most powerful document in the world which can make a widow, which can make a lower caste person, or which can make a poorest person Prime Minister of this country, President of this country, or for that matter, any public office. So unfortunately, we are less patriotic when compared to many other nations. That is why majority people in our country, they don't understand the greatness of the greatest document of modern knowledge. That is the Constitution of India. Britishers ruled us 190 years. Do they have written constitution? Do they have written constitution? But we have. America, the so-called economically advanced nation, they have constitution, written constitution. How many articles are there? How many articles are there? American Constitution. Any political science student? How many? Single digit? 7. Indian Constitution? Is it permanent? Is it fixed? If you open Lakshmikant, in some topic, you read that there are 395 articles in Indian Constitution. In other page, you can read there are 448 articles in Indian Constitution. Both are right. 395 is right. 448 is right. Because Indian Constitution is continuously being amended. At least today, you read about Indian Constitution in today's newspapers. So today's topic is economic it is becoming Indian economy. Okay. Economic reforms. What is the duration of your regular class? 3 hours. Okay. Economic reforms. (1991). So what is the meaning of economic reforms? If you make small changes to anything which is existing, it is called reform. If you make some modifications or some changes to anything existing, is called reform. Then tell me, what is revolution? Complete change is called revolution. Complete change is called revolution. A student who is waking up every day at 7 o'clock and starting his work, if he wakes up at 6:30, it is reform. If he is waking up at 4 o'clock, so many friends comment, ఓకే, నువ్వు పొద్దున్నే లేచావు అంటే ఈరోజు ఏదో అయింది. సంథింగ్ అన్ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ విల్ హ్యాపన్. This is very important. When we study about revolutions in history, normally whenever we hear the word revolution, people think that revolution means bloodshed, revolution means violence, revolution means massacres. Please remember, revolution means complete change or total change. That is called revolution. In public administration, there is a concept called mental revolution. Mental revolution. Okay. It is about economic reforms. In 1991, who was the Prime Minister of India? P.V. Narasimha Rao. So two people were behind the process of economic reforms. Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, Finance Minister Manmohan Singh, because when he was Prime Minister, UPA chairperson was Sonia Gandhi, President was Pratibha Patil. The country was under the leadership of women, and he was the only man ever. President of India was a woman, and his leader, UPA chairperson was Sonia Gandhi. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha, UPA Chief Minister Mayawati, Bihar Chief Minister Rabri Devi, Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje, Sindhya. So there were Indian politics were dominated by women leaders. So among those women leaders, Oka Magadu, Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh, okay? And you see, life is very, 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 very dramatic. When he was the Prime Minister, when P.V. Narasimha Rao was Finance Minister, he was a RBI Governor. RBI Governor. Normally politicians may not have knowledge of their own portfolio because they are not professionals. Because they were not professionals. 45, 50 years back in Andhra Pradesh, in Hyderabad city, a chief minister was going in Kavadiguda. Suddenly, driver, he slowed the car. Chief minister asked the driver, "Are enter bike, ఎందుకు సడన్ గా స్లో చేసావంటే స్పీడ్ బ్రేకర్ అక్కడ వచ్చింది సార్ అన్నాడు. కార్లో సీఎం ఉన్నాడని చెప్పు భయ అన్నాడు. కార్లో సీఎం ఉన్నాడని చెప్పు భయ అన్నాడు. Because the chief minister was illiterate. 𝐃𝐨𝐰𝐧𝐥𝐨𝐚𝐝, great person. So even today, Minister for Health may not be a doctor, or Minister for IT may not be IT professional. So ministers, they get clarifications about the doubts related to their portfolio from their secretaries. Normally, P.V. Narasimha Rao used to get clarifications for his doubts related to finances, economy from Manmohan Singh. So if you cut this in after 20 years, Boss became Prime Minister, Sarmaket became Finance Minister, but Fortunate for the country, when India was in financial crisis, two right persons, they occupied two right places. If any nation is undergoing a crisis, first important solution is changing leadership. Right or wrong, Americans recently decided to have Trump as their president because Trump is very decisive. Yes or no? That's all. Some decisions may give positive results, some decisions may give negative results. But he takes decision. Okay. The year of economic reforms, 1991, they were initiated, and two leaders behind these economic reforms, these are Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and Finance Minister Manmohan Singh. Normally, what is the methodology of your class? Running notes or dictation or both? Both. Okay. So please write India on the eve of independence. India on the eve of independence was an underdeveloped economy. Was an underdeveloped economy. So what are the three types of economies in the world? Developed economies, developing economies, and
మీరు అరెస్ట్ ప్లస్ ఆటోమేటిక్ మీరు వెళ్ళిపోయింది.
okay. So all the economies in the world are divided into three types. Developed economy, underdeveloped economies, least developed economies. How to understand what is a developed economy, what is an underdeveloped economy, and what are the least developed economies? Do you want to live in a village or in a town? Town. Okay, wait. You want to live in a town? Do you want to live in a town or in Hyderabad city? When the choice is between your village and nearby town, your choice is town. And if the question is between a town and Hyderabad city. Okay, in Hyderabad city, Ashok Nagar or Gachibowli? Ashok Nagar or Gachibowli? So, why people are migrating from villages to towns to cities, or in a city from a backward area to developed area? So, what is there in Gachibowli, or what is there in Hyderabad in general, or what we don't have in our village? So, these developed, underdeveloped, and underdeveloped, they are decided based on the range of infrastructure. So now I want to make it very simple. Developed countries are countries with developed infrastructure. Developed economies are economies with developed infrastructure. Underdeveloped economies are these are economies where infrastructure is underdeveloped. Where infrastructure is underdeveloped. Least developed economies are economies where infrastructure is least. If infrastructure is developed, those economies are developed economies. If infrastructure is underdeveloped, those economies are underdeveloped. If infrastructure is least developed, those economies are least. So now our village comes under, because in our village, no infrastructure, no drinking water, no sanitation, no roads, no proper buildings, schools and hospitals. So today, every village is suffering from a lack of infrastructure. So these are the three types of economies. Now, what is the sentence you have written? On the eve of independence, India was underdeveloped economy. Was India really a poor country 1,000 years back? Please tell me. Okay. Was India a poor country 1,000 years back? Then why today India is not a developed economy? British? British rule looted our wealth. Okay. So in 1947, by the time of independence, India had all the features of an underdeveloped economy. Don't write, just listen. 1947, by the time of independence, Indian economy had acquired all the features of underdeveloped economy. What happened 190 years before 1947? How many years the Britishers ruled India? Because some people say that 200 years, 250 years, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years. Different people and different books, they mention different periods. The Britishers ruled India 190 years, 1757 to 21st Battle of Plassey, 1757 to 1857 company rule. After 1857 revolt, transferred from company to now 90 years. So now onwards, you must be very clear. The Britishers ruled for 190 years. Before 190 years, 190 years means 1757. So before 1757 or till 1757, how was Indian economy? How was Indian economy? 1206 to 1526. What is this period? Delhi Sultan. So after Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who became Delhi Sultan? Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Firoz Shah Tughlaq. In Secunderabad area, there is an area called Karkhana. In Secunderabad, there is an area, its name is Karkhana. What is the meaning of Karkhana? What is the meaning of Karkhana? Karkhana means industry. Karkhana means industry. Firoz Shah Tughlaq had a industry in his cabinet. Ministry of Industries. What was the period? Delhi Sultanate period. Please remember, the developed history of America last 100, 200 years. Or 500, 600 years back, a ruler of Delhi had a portfolio by name Ministry of Industries. Whatever today we call developed economies, they are industrially developed. They are industrially developed. India is an agrarian economy. America is an industrialized economy. But our economy was industrialized 500 years back, 600 years back, 700 years back. And one more sentence. By the time of 1757, you write this sentence. Before the conquest of India by the British, before the conquest of India by the British, India was the largest producer of industrial goods in the world. India was the largest producer of industrial goods in the world. The largest producer of industrial goods in the world. What is the meaning of the sentence? Any economy which is the largest producer of industrial goods automatically becomes the largest economy in the world. So India was the largest economy 500 years, 600 years back in this world. That was why Europeans, they came to India in a queue. Portuguese, then Dutch, then French, then finally English East India Company. Okay. So here what is the sentence? On the eve of independence, India was an underdeveloped economy. So now, 1947, India got independence. Please remember, getting independence is only a political change. Getting independence is only a political change. We should start our discussion with IPR 1948. So please put subheading Industrial Policy Resolution 1948. If you want to remember, you can write IPR 1948. You can remember easily. IPR, Industrial Policy Resolution 1948. 1948. Please remember, getting independence is only a political change. Only a political change. Before 2014, a leader from Andhra was the chief minister in Hyderabad. After 2014, a leader from Telangana became chief minister in Hyderabad. Hyderabad means Telangana state. Only political change. Was there any change in the life of common people? Tell me, even after 10 years, is there major change in the life of a common people, a common person in Telangana? Only change is political change. Earlier, Andhra leaders were becoming chief ministers. Today, Telangana leaders will become. Please remember, if the change is only at a political level, all people will not get any benefit out of the change. If you want to make it useful for common people, the change must be at economic level. If Telangana youth gets more jobs, that is change. If Telangana farmer gets more profit, that would be called benefit to Telangana people. So In 1947, getting independence was a political development. That is why it is generally called a transfer of power. Transfer of power. But why we are fighting against the British rule? Tell me, why we were fighting against the British rule? Was it only because British rule? Actually, many foreigners ruled India. In modern period, many foreigners ruled India. In medieval period, many foreigners ruled India. In ancient period, many foreigners ruled India. But in ancient period, was there any freedom movement? In medieval India, was there any freedom movement? But only in modern India, that too against the British rule, there was a freedom movement because in ancient period, in medieval period, those foreigners who came to India, who conquered India, who ruled India, who looted India, they spent every paisa in India itself. For example, Hyderabad Nizam, he got a lot of from people in the form of taxes. But he spent in Hyderabad. It means local people were getting employment. But during the British rule, our wealth was drained to what you were telling a few minutes back. Our India was looted by the British. So, in ancient period, medieval period, was there any concept like drain of wealth? So, drain of wealth is a unique feature of British rule in modern India. So, our freedom struggle was against economic exploitation, against unemployment, against poverty. But now, after getting independence, unemployment must be addressed, poverty must be addressed, every problem must be addressed. So, to solve the problems of the people, solution lies in economy or political arena. So now, in Maharashtra, new government. In Jharkhand, of course, old rulers, new government. Is there any state there? In Kashmir. In Kashmir, there is change. Or in Andhra Pradesh, there is change. Or one in Telangana, there is change. When there is a change in the government, people expect that their economic issues will be addressed. Must be addressed. So that is why here the real beginning of economic development of India is started with IPR 1948. About IPR 1948, you write Dr. Sam Prasad Mukherjee was a minister for industries. Dr. Sam Prasad Mukherjee, very frequently we see about Dr. Sam Prasad Mukherjee. In last 10 years, after 2014, very frequently you can see questions on Sam Prasad Mukherjee in prelims. So he was Minister for Industries. Actually, he was not very popular as Minister for Industries or as a politician. Tell me, why Sam Prasad Mukherjee is more popular? Founder of Bharatiya Janata Party. BJP was started in 1980. One second. Janata Party was started in 1977. Before 1977, a party by name Bharatiya Janasangh. Bharatiya. It is popular as Jansan. So Shyam Prasad Mukherjee was the founder of Bharatiya Jansan. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee was the founder of Bharatiya Jansan, and he fought against autonomy to special status to Jammu and Kashmir immediately after independence. And this Jansan was merged into 77. Actually, Janata Party was a combination of so many parties. Congress Party won Lok Sabha elections successively because of lack of opposition. 1952, Congress Party. 1957, Congress Party. 1962, Congress Party. 1967, Congress Party. 1971, midterm election, Congress Party. So, 5 times after independence, 5 Lok Sabha elections, Congress Party came to power because of lack of opposition. Then what happened? All the opposition parties, in order to defeat Congress Party, decided to form one party. The party was Janata Party. So Janata Party was established to strong opposition to Congress Party, and really it was successful. They came to power, and government was formed in 1977. Morarji Desai was Prime Minister. But unfortunately, within 3 years, again Janata Party was broken into pieces. When Janata Party was established, one of the parties which was part of Janata Party was Janata Party was broken into pieces. All the leaders of Jansan, the leaders of Jansan, they established. So indirectly, Jansan. So what is the party which is ruling 2.5 elections? Since BJP is ruling, found is important. So Modi government has been naming so many schemes after Shyam Prasad Mukherjee. So that is why it is useful to answer one question. Remember, any central government centralized scheme in the name of Shyam Prasad Mukherjee is 1,000% important for Philips. So here, Minister for Industries. Okay. 1948. Please write. This policy revealed. This policy revealed. Here you have to make 2. Point number 1. Government's policy towards Number 2, scope of the government, in economic activities. After a few minutes, we come to a concept called what is mixed economy. There I will explain what is the scope of the government in economic activities. This policy declared India as a controlled economy, and as a mixed economy. as a controlled economy and as a mixed economy. Actually, to understand economic reforms, these are the basic concepts we need to understand. Industrial Policy Resolution 1948 declared India as a controlled economy. What is this controlled economy? Next slide. Controlled economy means the government controls the economy through a policy of license. Through a policy of license. Underline a policy of license. Everybody knows what is the meaning of control. So here, what is the meaning of controlled economy? Government controls economic activity through a policy of license. What is policy of license? So I want to produce something. What to produce is controlled, is decided by government. Where to produce is decided by government. How much to produce is decided by government. And price is decided by government. Distribution is decided by government. Why government was deciding everything about production? What to produce? For example, an industry approached the government and he is interested to produce. Government will encourage. Somebody comes forward and is expressing interest to produce cosmetics. Please go to 1940s, 1950s. So one difficulty to your generation is you are all born after much later topic of the debate. So this is our background. We are a liberalized economy, globalized economy. To understand what is this liberalized economy, what is this globalized economy, we need to understand the background. So in background, today everything is liberalized, but earlier everything was controlled. Why government was controlling? Because if government is not controlling what to produce, investor will try to produce according to his profits. Actually, needs of the people, priority of the investor may be different. So in Hyderabad city, there are certain business activities which were strictly prohibited after 2014. Clubs were closed in Hyderabad. Gambling centers were closed in Hyderabad. And in the name of club, gambling closed in Hyderabad. Like that, in Malkpeta there is race course. Did you see any horse race? Did you see? So, investor or producer priority is profit. So that is why government was controlling the producer about what to produce. If government is not controlling, in many areas of Visakha agency, people are cultivating ganja. Control should be controlled or not. So they should produce. They are supposed to produce paddy as another commercial crop, not ganja. So that is why government was controlling what to produce, where to produce. Here, Vijayawada or Anantapur, what is right place? Anantapur is right place. Backward. If a major industry is coming to a state, in that state, some development, some backward areas, which should be given. Today in Andhra Pradesh, what is the biggest Visakha? What is the original name of Visakha Steel? Original name of official Visakha Steels. Rashtriya is Nigam Limited. When it was started, completely backward area. When it was started, Ramjanpuram, completely backward area. So around Hyderabad city, you can see so many public sector industries. When they were established, they were not part of city. They were not part of city, please remember. They were outskirts, backward areas. So, where to produce should be controlled by the government in order to encourage production in backward areas. Or otherwise, there is a more paddy production in an area where rice mill should be in the same next district. Rice mills must be encouraged in the area where paddy production is more. So that is why what to produce, how much to produce, how much to produce. For example, demand is 100. If 200 goods are produced, what happens? Demand is 100 goods. If 200 goods are produced, price will be less. Price is less. Profit will be profit, or it may not, may be even loss. If a profit is profit, industry may be closed. Industry is closed. What will happen to unemployed? Who is unemployed? Unemployed person without income. Unemployed is a person without, when there is no income, there is no purchasing power. When there is no income, there is no purchasing power. What is your favorite car? What is your favorite car? So why you did not purchase now? So you want to purchase so many things. Wrong agenda. You have your own list. You just prepare a list and kept it waiting. Because today you don't have desires. You have ambitions. But you are not purchasing because you don't have purchasing. And when there is no purchasing power, lack of consumption is called poverty. Lack of consumption is called poverty. So, how much to produce? If it is not controlled by government, if there is more production, if there is more production, it will lead to okay. So is it clear? You tell me, government should control or should not control? So that is why, how much and after how much, what is the last point?
Price.
Okay. Thank you. So, IPR 19 declared Indian economy as a controlled economy. This is the controlling. Right, next sentence. Distribution also you can understand. Distribution was also controlled by the government. What is the meaning of ration? One second, no chorus. Any one of you, what is the meaning of ration? Raise your hand and give answer. What is ration?
For person living commodity.
Ratio.
Minister.
Ration means controlling the consumption, fixing a quota. Ration means not rice shop or means not rice. Ration means a family wants 10 kg sugar every month. But how much? Only 1 kg. But in ration shop, can they get 50? Ration means controlling. Controlling consumption by fixing quota. By fixing quota means only 1 kg sugar for your family for 1 month. Only 4 kg rice per head for 1 month. So why this ration? Why ration? For example, if a rich family, they can purchase every month 10 kg sugar. If they are allowed to purchase the 10 kg sugar, will there be sugar for others? Will there be wheat for others? Or will there be rice for others? You take any of them. If people are allowed without limit, others will not get. If others are not getting, no consumption. Lack of consumption is called poverty. So that is why, in order to provide minimum consumption to maximum number of people, there must be control even of distribution. Okay, next, write this sentence. IPR 1948 declared India as a mixed economy. You already wrote it. You write next sentence. Mixed economy means mixed economy means a blend of the features of all capitalist, socialist economies. Capitalist and socialist economies in theory, and public-private partnership in practice, and public-private participation. You write public-private participation in practice. So we are in 1948. Go back to 1948. So by 1948, what was the period of Second World War? 1939 to 45. What was the year of IBRD? What is IBRD? World Bank, International Bank for Reconstruction Development. When we use the word reconstruction, we use the word reconstruction. After destruction, we use the word reconstruction. During this period, what happened? This was the period of destruction. This was the period of war means destruction. War means destruction. And World War, which area was destroyed? Which area was affected? How much area was affected? One of the countries, world economy was destroyed. So, after Second World War, this is the background of establishment of World Bank and many other international organizations. So this was the period of capitalism. What is the meaning of capitalism? Capitalism, private property, the key feature. Private property. So in capitalism, everybody to private property and state plays non-control or one second in economy, private capital, private enterprise, both private capital, private enterprise without any state control. State control. Earlier we discussed that. Where to produce, how much to produce, what should be the price of production, and what is distribution of production. Here there were so many restrictions in industrial policy resolution 1948. But in capitalist economy, producer is free. If you have money, you can produce anything. But what is socialism? No private property. So everything is owned by. So then economies, they have some positive, they have some negative features. And socialist economies, they have some merits, they have some demerits. Broadly, what is the positive in capitalism? Whatever you earn, you will enjoy. You get motivation. So why only in America or why in capitalist economies there is more development? For example, today you are working day and night to become a millionaire. You are putting hard work, whatever you can put. Because today you are feeling that by getting into civil services, you can see the best of the life. Tomorrow, if there is any policy from the government of India, 2025 batch onwards, 2025 batch onwards for all monthly 50 kgs rice will be given and 10,000 house rent allowance will be given and monthly 2,000 medical allowances will be given. If 4-5 policies are announced like this, what will be your decision? Tell me, what will be your decision? Will be same or will be changed? It is common. Common. Capitalism motivates. 24/7. Why? Because limit. If a businessman is successful, you see Elon Musk, there is no limit. So that is why it motivates. It creates a society with a huge inequalities. Here you can see richest man in the world, poorest man in the world. In America, you can see richest people as well as where it is more in India or in America. Because of poverty. Poverty. So that is why blend of positive or merits of capitalism and merits of socialism is a mixed economy. Theory